HBCU football is starting to pick up some steam. Since Jackson State added Deion Sanders as their head coach back in 2020, HBCU football has been getting a lot more press, really more press period, than they ever have. Before Coach Prime started coaching at JSU, HBCU football was pretty much an afterthought and was on the back burner of college football. Even though when you do a little bit of research and you go back and look at where HBCU football came from and how it was pretty much the standard of college football before they started integrating black players into the major universities, you can see it's been a little while. However, we also know that if HBCU football really wants to start making leaps and bounds back into the major college football scene, that it couldn't just be Jackson State getting all the news and all the top recruits. However, I am excited to announce that more top tier recruits are starting to take HBCU football seriously. This Saturday, when Alabama State plays Jackson State, there will be 2 consensus 5-star recruits in attendance. That, of course, being the second best defensive lineman in the country in James Smith and the 3rd best edge rusher in the country in Quay Rousseau. Both these guys are currently uncommitted and have Alabama State in their top 5 schools remaining. Joining the 2 recruits to this game are 3-star running back Antonio Trone and class 2024 offensive lineman Kalari Gordon, as well as 3-star offensive lineman Vizen Lang. Now, this is a massive win for HBCU football. Not only that 5-star recruits are taking HBCU football seriously, but you guys got to look at the positions. These are 2 defensive linemen, and as Coach Prime said in an interview, before HBCU football can really take that next step forward, the offensive and defensive linemen need to start going and participating in HBCU football.
Is there ever any way possible that you foresee Jackson State being in a power conference at some point in time?
I would like to see that when we're ready. I got to get the Travises. I got to get Travises there too, okay, up front, on both sides, offensive, defensive line, with some depth, because that's how the big boys will get you now. They can't mess with you on the skill position because we got a quarterback that can spin it. We got receivers that can go, DBs that can go, linebackers that can bang and cover. Where they get you is right here in the trenches.
Now, this isn't just a for show visit, meaning that these guys aren't just going to the school just to be like, oh yeah, I'm taking the HBCU college seriously. No, like, listen to this quote by the trainer that pretty much all these players that are going to this game, that's how they all are in common. They all have the same training staff at Mad Dog Athletics. Listen to the quote that these guys said and just how excited that they are to go to this game. The quote goes, "They've been talking about that game since the summer." One of Mad Dog's founders, Tracy Varner, said, "They've been talking about this Bama State Jackson State game for months. This summer, since we were training, they wanted to go get the game day atmosphere of the HBCU football, and of course, you wanted to do it when Deion Sanders comes to town. That's where they'll be this weekend." So like the quote goes, they've been talking about this game for months. Alabama State is a real option that these players are taking a look at, and again, it's the defensive linemen that the defensive and offensive linemen are the players that need to start funneling their way into HBCU football before it can really take that next step into the limelight, because you can go find the fast receivers, you can go find the shifty running backs, you can go find the project quarterbacks that you start to develop, but you cannot teach size. It's the number one thing in football that you simply cannot teach. I don't care how technically sound of an offensive lineman that you are. If you are 5'10", 250 pounds, and you're going up against a guy who is 6'4", 250, running a 4.5, you're going to lose every single time. I don't matter how technically sound that you are. Now, I think it is absolutely phenomenal that James Smith and Quay Rousseau are seriously taking a look at Alabama State and HBCU football as a whole. However, I think that Travis Hunter is going to be the litmus test for how many top tier recruits actually start going to HBCUs. So far, things have been looking absolutely phenomenal for Travis Hunter and Jackson State, and it's just going to be a matter of time until we see how high does Travis Hunter go in the draft boards. Because if Travis Hunter is able to go from a consensus #1 overall recruit in his recruiting class, go to HBCU football and dominate, and then be a 1st round draft pick, I think that the floodgates are absolutely going to open up and that HBCU football is going to be back into the limelight once kids understand, like, oh, like, I don't have to just go to Alabama. I don't just have to go to Georgia or Texas or one of the big schools. I can actually go to an HBCU football, go play and just, do everything that I got to do in the college football world and still be able to make it to the NFL, because that's really the number one thing. And with NIL starting to come into effect, once HBCU football starts really, starting to get some more people, it ain't like black people don't got money. Like, trust, there's going to be a lot of money funneled into it. I think that Travis Hunter is going to be the litmus test. I think he is going to be the gray sheep, or whatever little analogy that you want to use. He's going to be the guy that everybody's going to be looking at, because if he's able to turn his HBCU football career, his Jackson State career, into a 1st round draft pick, I think that it's just going to absolutely open everything up for HBCU football. But I want to hear from y'all. First, comment down below. What do you guys think of James Smith and Quay Rusau going to take a look at Alabama State and the Jackson State game this weekend, and seriously giving Alabama State a serious shot in the recruiting game, as well as how do you think that HBCU football will change if Travis Hunter remains and turns into a first-round draft pick in the NFL? But alrighty, y'all, I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Leave this video a like, also subscribe, because we are dropping videos all the time and you don't want to miss any of them. And with that being said, I love and appreciate all y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.